Welcome to our 6th annual Global MSP Day. We've been kicking off the celebration across the globe in the EMEA and APAC regions and are excited to kick it off here in the Americas. We are overjoyed to spend the next hour with you, and we hope you walk away with something new today. My name is Kirsten Vogelsang, and I'm a partner marketing specialist here at Barracuda MSP. I'm so thrilled to be your host today. I don't know about you, but I can't believe it's been 6 years since we started Global MSP Day. For those of you that are new to celebrating with us, this day started off as a fun social media event, and over the years, it's turned into a day where we get to spend time with many MSPs around the world, both virtually and in person. The goal of MSP Day is to recognize, applaud, and collaborate with MSPs around the globe. We want to celebrate your successes as well as highlight key opportunities and challenges in the MSP community that they could be faced with this year. We have a great event for you today, filled with insightful information from our very own Jason Howells, VP of International Sales, Richard Tubb, an MSP expert, and Wayne Selk from CompTIA. We're also happy to share that we were able to bring back in-person events across the globe this evening. I'm so excited about that. Well, I'm sure many of you are looking forward to attending these events in your local area, and we can't wait to hear the fun stories and collaborative discussions that come out of these events. One thing we would love to see is how you're celebrating today. Make sure to share your celebration with us across all social platforms with the hashtag Global MSP Day 2023. Now that we've covered the groundwork of the cybersecurity landscape, let's turn our focus over to you, the MSP. Please join me in welcoming Richard Tubb to the stage to share secrets to thriving and growing in the MSP industry. Over to you, Richard.
Well, hello there, Richard Tubb here. Welcome to Global MSP Day 2023. I'm at home here in the studio garage in Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. And thank you, Barracuda, and all of our other sponsors for putting together this amazing celebration of managed services for the 6th year in a row. Really appreciate it. Great to see everybody here from all over the world. Now, we've got celebrations taking place, as I said, all over the world, in New York, in London, in Amsterdam, everywhere else, different time zones, different places. And actually, I'll be hosting the London celebrations in the UK later today. So if you've not registered to join us, there's still time. I hope to see you there. But what is it we're celebrating? Well, at last year's Global MSP Day, I spoke to you about the challenges, about the experiences that MSPs have been having over the last couple of years. And I think it's fair to say that during the pandemic, MSPs were like key workers. They were keeping the small business community running. Now, that is definitely to be celebrated. However, after the pandemic ended, things didn't really slow down for us as the managed service industry, did they? Not at all. I think we can all agree that once the world started to return to normality, something quite interesting happened. I don't know about you, but I speak to MSPs all over the world, and they tell us that our clients started showing more of an interest in IT, specifically as a value add to their business, rather than just a cost, or, as many of us have got used to over the years, clients seeing IT as a necessary evil. In fact, I'm speaking to MSPs all over the world who are telling me that they're being inundated with requests for projects, new work from their clients above and beyond the day-to-day IT support that we do for them. This is great news. This is definitely something to celebrate. And it all seems to be driven by one important phrase. Now, if you're playing buzzword bingo with us today during the presentations at Global MSP Day, you're ticking off your bingo card for works like innovate and out of the box and synergy. Well, you're about to score highly, because I want to talk to you about digital transformation. Of course, this used to be a buzzword, and it's no longer the case at all. Clients, of course, won't ask you for a digital transformation project. They will actually ask you to help them do things faster, better, cheaper. They will want more automation. They'll want more integration between their different technology tools. They want less paperwork and bureaucracy. They want to gain a competitive advantage through technology. They won't ask you for digital transformation, but digital transformation, make no mistake, is what they are actually asking you for. And of course, this is a Huge shift for MSPs and a big lesson we need to learn. So even though digital transformation is all about technology, I would encourage you, we must not talk about technology. Technology is the enabler to the business processes. We need to talk business. We need to talk return on investment, ROI. We need to talk efficiency. We need to talk real world changes that improve processes and tools that will improve processes and efficiency for them. So absolutely no geek talk here. As I said, this is a huge shift for MSPs and a huge growth area opportunity. However, where in the heck do you find the time to help your clients with digital transformation projects when you're already handling service desk tickets and cybersecurity protection, patching, updates, backups, disaster recoveries, all of that other stuff that clients value but take for granted? Would that be fair to say? So this slide I've put up here is often when I speak to MSPs across the world who are being inundated with digital transformation projects, even if that's not what clients call it, they feel a bit like this, the MSPs do, because they're like, what? More stuff on top of the stuff I'm already doing? Where am I going to find the time, the skills, the resources to do this type of work? Well, that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. In this short, very to the point presentation, no fluff, no filler here, I'm going to give you 3 very important ideas or tactics that you can use to not only survive the post-pandemic world, not only survive the demands that have been put on you, but thrive when it comes to meeting your MSP client demands. Now, I can speak to these secrets, to these tactics, because some of you might know that these are the tactics that I used to use when I ran my own managed service provider business. I sold that business 12 years ago, it was now. And these tactics that I'm going to share with you are to this day the tactics that I see the most progressive, high-achieving MSPs use, not just in the UK, not just in Europe, globally. These are the tactics I use. These are the tactics that the high-achieving MSPs are using. So let's jump straight into it. Let's not hesitate here. Let's jump in with tactic number 1. Tactic number 1. So I mentioned that as managed service providers, clients expect you to patch their machines, do their backups, keep them safe. Oh yes, answer support tickets. The phone might be ringing right now as you're trying to take time to watch me speak to you. However, I would say that while all of these activities are really valuable to your client doesn't perceive a great deal of value in them. Of course, they appreciate when you fix problems for them, but on a day-to-day basis, if you do things very well, and managed services is all about being proactive, preventing issues from occurring, if you do managed services really well, after a while, the client forgets the pain that they experienced when they first hired you. They actually start to ask you, what is it we're paying you for? Has anybody else experienced that? I would imagine there's a few people nodding there, because when I ran my MSP business, we got really good at doing proactive managed services, and clients started asking us, what is it we're paying you for? They didn't feel the pain from when they first started working with you. They didn't appreciate all the work that goes on under the surface to keep them pain-free. Clients have very short memories, don't they? However, where they do see or where they do perceive value is where you help them with digital transformation projects. Forget the buzzword for a minute. As we said, clients never come to you and say, I want to be digitally transformed. What they do is they come to you and they ask for you to help them use technology to do things faster, better, or cheaper. They want you to help them transform their business for the modern world. But as we've said, where do you find the time to do this value-added work when you're so busy being an MSP, doing things on the day-to-day? Well, for me, tip number 1, I fix this problem by outsourcing. You can outsource your network operations center, your NOC. If you're not familiar with that concept, your NOC, you're essentially doing it at the moment. That's when you're doing the patching, the updates, the backup remediation, things of that nature. Whether you know it or not, you've already got a NOC, and you can outsource that NOC. You can outsource your SOC, so that's your security operations center. In fact, I would suggest that nowadays, even if you've got a good level of cybersecurity experience, working with an outsourced SOC partner is a really good idea, because this industry moves so very quickly. You can even outsource your help desk. Oh yeah, this can freak some people out. They say, my clients would never put up with speaking to somebody other than me, the other end of a phone. But the reality is, I can tell you some of the fastest growing MSPs in the world are outsourcing their NOC, SOC, and even their help desk. In short, you want to free up your engineers' time to do something more than that paddling under the surface, keeping everything running that your clients don't see and don't particularly value until it goes wrong, of course. You want to free up your engineers' time to do more important and higher value work. Let me tell you, there are providers out there who will work with you as part of your team. Super, super important. This isn't something you set and forget. This isn't something you abdicate responsibility for and throw it out there. There are providers out there who will work as part of your team to help you with the day-to-day. They will help you with the NOC. They'll help you with the help desk. They will assist you with projects or even act as your cybersecurity experts. Super, super valuable. I did this within my MSP business way back in the day, well before it was particularly popular. And I can tell you from experience, it freed up my time to concentrate on delivering real high value work or consultancy to my clients, as well as keeping things going the day-to-day that you're hired as a managed service provider for. Now, if you've never considered outsourcing before, then I want you to think about this. We ask our clients to outsource their IT to us, don't we? So they can essentially concentrate on what they do best, which is running a business. That is the sales message, isn't it, behind managed services. Don't focus on doing the IT customer, because you can outsource it to me and we'll look after it for you. You can then concentrate on doing what you do best, running your business. So why shouldn't we, as managed service providers, take our own advice? Outsourcing isn't just for the technical either. I want you to know there are services out there to help with your HR, with your marketing, with your web design, all sorts of things. There are services such as Pronto Marketing, MSP Wingman, help you with your marketing. Wherever you need help, you can find it. Please remember that your clients outsource their IT to you because you're the expert. And so you should learn to turn to others for help with your own business too. Now, at this stage, we're moving very fast here, and I'm going to share with you another couple of tips, techniques. But if you've got any questions, such as who should I turn to outsource, who should I trust, what problems might I experience with outsourcing, hold on to those thoughts for me, because at the end of this session, I'm going to share with you a link to a resource kit which you can download straight at the end of this session, where I offer more resources about outsourcing and everything that I'm going to talk about today. So my first tip for you to cope with this new influx of project work, this new influx of digital transformation, my first tip is to investigate outsourcing. Okay, so let's move on to tactic number 2. Tactic number 2 is what is called strategic alliances. What are strategic alliances? Sounds a very fancy word for a very simple concept, actually. Now, let's say you've freed up your time to do higher value work using outsourcing partners. Brilliant. That's really good, except the type of projects that some clients may ask you to help them with may actually realistically be outside of your current scope of knowledge. They may be things that you don't have a full grasp on. There may be things you know a little bit about, but really you haven't got the expertise in. For instance, okay, an example, what if you're being asked for help with customer relationship management, CRM products? Perhaps you're being asked for help with e-commerce solutions. Maybe you're even being asked for technical solutions that you will struggle to provide, such as, let's say, Linux, Apple, mobile devices, those sorts of things that you've got a generalist understanding of, but couldn't consider yourself an expert in. Well, I'm a firm believer that good managed service providers focus on their core competencies and then they buddy up with other companies to provide complementary services. This is known as building strategic alliances. I told you it was a very smart word for a very simple concept. When I ran my MSP business, we focused on our core competencies of support and consultancy, probably like many of you watching today. We then buddied up with other companies to provide, let's see, data cabling, database development, web development, CRM, Linux, so many other skills that we didn't have in-house. So by taking this approach, buddying up with other companies, buddying up with other MSPs even, with other technology companies, taking this approach allows you to help your clients without having to work on projects you know in your heart you really shouldn't be tackling alone. And you know what? When these projects go well, when these strategic alliances go well, the client's going to praise you for being the person who facilitated that relationship. It's a very strange thing, but managed services is about so much more than just doing the tech for them. Managed services is about becoming a trusted business advisor. And I can tell you from experience that becoming that trusted business advisor, of course, you've got to do the baseline technical support. You've got to do the proactive monitoring the maintenance for them. You've got to keep them safe with cybersecurity. But what clients actually value above most anything else is the fact that you can introduce them to other people who can get the work done for them. Does that make sense? When it goes well, the client will praise you for being the person who facilitated that relationship. So strategic alliances or buddying up with other tech companies is a really powerful way for you to grow your MSP business. Okay, so we've looked at outsourcing as a way of freeing up your time to work on value-added projects. We've just explored how to build strategic alliances or buddying up with other technology companies that can then help you deliver skills and solutions that are outside your core competencies and perhaps your area of expertise. Told you I'd be moving fast. So in our third and final tactic, I want to share something that was fundamental to the growth of my MSP business before I sold it, and is going to be fundamental to the growth of your business. My top takeaway from today's presentation is this. And for those of you who are following closely, you'll see where I'm going with this. You'll see that I'm suggesting that you build relationships with other tech companies. The missing part of the jigsaw for any high-growth MSP here is not trying to go it alone. Many of you will have heard me speak openly about my own mental health challenges and to be an advocate for mental health within the MSP industry. In fact, I spoke last year, didn't I, at MSP Day, about the challenges that MSPs and their staff face as a result of the pressures of the pandemic and the new world that we live in here. I speak from experience when I say that running an MSP business can be a lonely, long slog. If you try to do it alone, however. My own MSP growth was accelerated because I spent time learning from some very smart, very generous people who gave freely of their time and experience and advice to help me personally, professionally grow. You can do so too. The very fact you're here at Global MSP Day, taking the time out of your busy day to join in the celebrations, to listen to people from all over the world give their experiences of running a managed service provider, that shows your commitment to growth. So keep it going. So I would say the biggest takeaway from today's session for you should be, and tactic number 3, get involved in the MSP community. Don't try and do this on your own. Peer collaboration is such a powerful way to accelerate your growth, both personally and professionally. You can learn from others who have been there and done that. Plus, there are communities out there that can help support you. We've already acknowledged that running an MSP business can be a lonely, frustrating task at times. Mental health challenges are on the rise. So having support around you is not only encouraged, I'd say it is essential. And in my experience, the MSP industry is like no other industry in that peers are willing to help one another, to learn and to grow. We share our experiences, don't we? We share our tactics. We share what works and what doesn't. If you've not been involved in the MSP community, because those of you who have will be nodding your head at this point and know that it's an industry like no other, but perhaps if you've never met up with your peers, if you've never spent time at community meetings, this might come as a shock to you. What? Competitors helping one another to grow, to get better, supporting one another. It's absolutely true. They say a rising tide lifts all boats, and I think that is the ethos of the managed service industry. So on the screen here, I've listed 3 awesome communities that I want you to seek out and get involved with. CompTIA, who are one of our other sponsors today, have a thriving MSP community globally. They've got in-person meetups every quarter in various locations all around the world. I used to be the chairman of the CompTIA UK community when it first started out, 10, 12 years ago. There's a community in the Benelux. There's communities online in the United States. There's communities in Australia. There's communities in Europe, communities all over the world. CompTIA are a great advocate for the MSP industry, and I would encourage you, seek out CompTIA, see what they're doing, see how they can help you. In my experience, the cost of getting involved with CompTIA, both in time and money, is very low, but the rewards are very high. And talking about high rewards, the Tech Tribe is an amazing online community. If you've never come across the Tech Tribe before, another community I've spent a lot of time in. The illustrious leader of the Tech Tribe is Nigel Moore, a former MSP owner from Sydney, Australia. And Nigel has built a global community with 5,000 plus MSPs from all over the world and growing. It's nurturing, it's helpful, it's packed full of value. Yes, it's a paid community. At the time of speaking, I think the membership is about $50 a month. But let me just throw out there, if you use the link on the screen there, tubb.co/Tech Tribe, you'll receive a 40% discount voucher. But trust me when I say, regardless of whether you use a discount or not, it is one of the best kept secrets in the MSP industry. There is content, there is community, there is all sorts of things in there. Nigel runs an incredible community there. Definitely go and check it out. It's worth checking out. And finally, online communities. We've got websites such as Smarter MSP. Yes, I'm a regular contributor to this. Don't let it put you off, though. They have some really fabulous content up there. You can learn from your peers who write articles. You can learn from experts in the community. You're at MSP Day today learning from me, I hope, a former MSP, plus so many other experts that we've got here. I want to reiterate, this isn't a journey you should try making on your own. There are communities, there are people out there who will help you on your journey. So tactic number 3 is probably the most important of all the tactics I'm going to share with you today. Don't try to do this alone. Help is out there. Okay, I told you it was going to be a quick fire session, didn't I, today? We have gone through at a rapid fire pace with looking at how after the pandemic, MSPs are being asked to do a lot more value-added project work, digital transformation for those playing buzzword bingo. But digital transformation is no longer a buzzword. It is a reality that every MSP is facing, regardless of your geography, regardless of the type of clients that you work with. All of those clients want to do things faster, better, and cheaper. Digital transformation is a thing. I want to leave you today with words of my mentor, my great mentor, Alan Sorensen, who built a huge MSP in the United States, taught me the phrase that vision without execution is hallucination. So I want you to take action from what you learned from me today in this session, from the other speakers. I want you to take a screenshot of this screen. Grab your phone, take a screenshot on your big screen, whatever it looks like. I want you to take action. I want you to research outsourced knock, SOC, and help desk options. Whether you believe in it or not, whether you think it applied to you or not, take a look at it, please, because again, the most progressive MSPs in the world are doing this. I want you to partner with other companies to accelerate your growth. I want you to build strategic alliances. And if you're wondering, where can I find people to partner with? Go to your local networking events and meet other technology companies. Or, of course, there are the communities that I mentioned. CompTIA, the Tech Tribe, just to mention two, and there are lots of really good communities out there. And of course, I want you to realize and to remember, you are not going to try to do this alone. It is no sign of weakness to go and seek out help, to go and seek people who have been there and done it before you. So please join a peer community. And of course, earlier on, I promised you that resource kit that contains all of the books, all of the websites, the research, everything else that I've spoken about today, and a lot more. So you can grab it from tubb.co/MSP Day 23RK, all lowercase, tubb.co/MSP Day 23RK. It's totally free. I don't even ask for your email address. It's just my way of, I said I was going to go through this quickly, rapid fire. Don't worry if you've missed anything at all. The slide deck will be in there, all the resources. There's going to be pointers, signposts to companies that you can look at for outsourcing. There's going to be details of books. There's going to be details of the communities that I mentioned. It's totally free. Go and grab that resource kit. So that's all from me at MSP Day 23 this year. I'd love to continue the conversation. So please know you can reach out to me at www.tubblog.co.uk. Tubblog, the hub for MSPs, the home of my content. I hope we get the opportunity to say hello in person. And remember, if you're able to join me in London later today to celebrate Global MSP Day 23, then I'll see you there. Otherwise, I hope to see you out there. Cheers.
Richard, it's always an honor to have you join us. Thank you for sharing these insights, and thank you for your constant support for MSPs and for Barracuda MSP. To recap, Richard's 3 tactics of growing and thriving in the MSP industry are, number 1, outsource. Whether you outsource a NOC, a network operations center, a SOC, a security operations center, or even a help desk, Richard also highlighted that outsourcing is not strictly just IT or technology related offerings. Coming from a partner marketer, I can say this is true. This can be marketing, human resources, web design, and more. At the end of the day, it's all about freeing up your time. The second tip that Richard highlighted was to build strategic alliances. You may not have expertise in every area of your business, and that's totally okay. Build partnerships and relationships with other MSPs or other companies. Lean on each other and support each other. This will help grow your MSP tremendously. Lastly, don't do it alone. Trying to navigate the MSP industry alone can be draining. Continue to connect with others, learn from each other, and help each other. We're all in this together after all. With that, we conclude this year's Global MSP Day virtual event. Thank you all for joining us. Be on the lookout for your very own copy of the Evolving Landscape of the MSP Business Report 2023. For those of you joining us in the various cities this evening, we look forward to collaborating, connecting, and more importantly, celebrating with you. Yay! Don't forget to fill in a survey. Also, share how you're celebrating today by tagging us on social media and using the hashtag Global MSP Day 2023. Happy Global MSP Day 2023. Here's to you, the MSP. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.